The governing National Democratic Congress is set to arrest people who are allegedly infiltrating their party, and they're saying that their voters register will be used in the coming parliamentary and presidential primaries. But the New Patriotic Party is not taking this kindly at all and saying that this is cheap politics being played by the National Democratic Congress. So what basis is the NDC using to accuse the NPP of infiltrating their party? But what tangible reason at all will the NPP have to infiltrate the NDC? And if it turns out to be true that the NPP is infiltrating the NDC, then what are the implications? This is today's big story. My name is Asare Barima. The Eastern Regional NDC chairman today gave a warning to alleged NPP people who have infiltrated the NDC.
Some aspirants are expressing that they think that some people found their names into the register who are not members of our party. For now, we have no independent way of verifying until the registers are printed for us to exhibit and then audit the register at those various branches.
They said these members who are not NDC are from which party? The NPP, you mean?
Predominantly NPP.
And do you have numbers, statistics on how many of these people are?
No, as I told you, these are for now allegations and concerns being expressed by some aspirants and some members.
So if these are allegations not verified, and your regional chairman goes along on a platform to tell party supporters that if they grab anybody who is not a member of the NPP, the police is on standby, they will arrest him, how does that work?
Yeah, it was an assurance that it was given to our members that it was not possible for any member of the New Patriotic Party or any other party, either registered NDC people, to register to vote in the November 7th elections.
Is it a crime for which you say the Ghana Police Service is on standby to arrest members?
No, of course. If you are not registered member of the party and you belong to another political party and you turn up to come and vote in the party's parliamentary or presidential elections, and you are confronted and you think that you can create events or you can create situations at those polling centers. That is the reason why the police is always present. So that is the assurance that it's only registered members of our party that have been cleared after the exhibition and audit to vote who will be able to vote on that particular day.
But how is it possible that an NPP member would come and register to become an NDC member just to come and vote for a parliamentary aspirant? How does that work, sir?
Yeah, if you followed our registration process, it was unfortunate that it tied up with events leading to taking of forms, the aspirants showing up to contest, where you have very large numbers forming branches, where it is normally difficult to identify all the members of the branch at that particular moment. It is possible that some branch secretaries could do mischief, favor one aspirant or the other.
Let's now get on to the telephone line and speak with Oliver McKevill to further explain to us on what basis they are accusing the NDC, the NPP, of infiltrating their party. Good evening, and thanks for joining us on today's big story.
Good evening, my sister.
Mr. Kevill, so what are the reasons why you are accusing, or on what basis are you accusing the NPP of infiltrating your party?
Well, I say good evening to your listeners once again. My regional chairman, on a tour of our branches in the region, had several concerns from our party members and some aspirants who are contesting the upcoming November 7th primaries, that they suspect that there are some people who were registered by some other people to vote in this parliamentary primaries, and that such people are not members of our party. So these were concerns that were raised by some aspirants and some members of our party from our branches. And our regional chairman, in assuring them that such people will not have the opportunity to vote, gave them the details of what internal control mechanisms that we have in clearing such people if they exist in our register.
Your concerns are that some aspirants are asking that people vote for them without really checking their backgrounds. But do you have evidence to actually accuse the NPP of infiltrating your party?
If you listen to me carefully, and if you have listened to what my regional chairman said, he has not made any specific allegations against NPP as a political party.
Right.
What he has said is that there were some people who found their names in the register, and those people are planning to vote no against the president in the presidential endorsement on November 7th.
But we have the chairman mentioning the NPP and saying if the person is an NPP member, they will cause his arrest.
What he said was that no NPP person has any business on that day to come and vote in our primaries. And if you are prevented or you are confronted and you try to create confusion at the polling station, that is why policemen are standing by.
That goes to suggest that he has some information that NPP people are infiltrating the party. Don't you think so?
That is the information he had from some aspirants and some concerned members.
Have you confirmed? Have you been able to confirm that indeed the allegation is true?
So that is assurance we give to our party people, that we will have 1 week of exhibition of the register and a branch audit for those aspirants and members who are expressing such concerns, to specifically identify those people who are in the register that they think that they are not members of our party and belong to some other political party.
And so I'm sure you're talking about the NDC membership register that's going to be exhibited. Am I right?
Exactly.
Okay, so how effective do you think this will be? And if indeed it turns out to be true that some MPP members have indeed infiltrated your party, how easy is it going to be for you to identify those people?
It is not we at the region or anybody from national has do not have the capacity to identify who is not or who is a member of the party at the branch. The onus is on the branch executives and on the constituency executives to identify such people, and the names of such people will be expunged from the register.
Well, many thanks to you, Mark Oliver Seville, General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress in the Eastern Region. Let's now listen to the Eastern Regional Chairman, who earlier warned and also threatened arrest of members who are allegedly NPP members but are infiltrating the NDC. Now, Greater Accra Regional Chairman Ade Koka also spoke earlier, confirming that the NDC will do all it can to expunge all members who are not the NDC but are posing to be members of the NDC. Let's listen to him now.
Arrest might be a bit difficult to enforce, but then what you can do is that we're going to display the register of voters, and that's where you have to be very vigilant. Ensure that within the branch or within the area that is being displayed, NDC people around should be able to go and look, because it's going to come your picture and everything. They should be able to go around, check the register, and if they find faces that they determine that are not NDC members, should report to the constituency, and then they also investigate. And if it's found that they are not, their names will be expunged from the register.
Is that to say that the party is aware that there's some form of infiltration?
Definitely there. I mean, because some people doing the exercise brought on board because they want to.
Which people?
Those aspirants, some aspirants who wanted people that they think who vote for them, and they didn't bother to check their backgrounds. So there's evidence that there's some people who are not NDC members who have been there, who have gone to register. That is why we are going to display the register.
And do you know the numbers? How many of them?
Oh, I couldn't give the numbers, but at least by displaying the register, we'll be able to know who and who have infiltrated into the party.
But the New Patriotic Party is not taking this kindly at all. Let's get on to the telephone line and speak with Communication Director of the party, Nana Komia. Good evening and welcome to today's big story.
Good evening, Madam.
Nana, what's your response to accusation by the ruling NDC that members of your party have infiltrated the NDC?
Thank you, Madam. Let me wish your audience a good evening. The accusation is a joke. It's an absolute joke.
But they look serious.
No, why would the NPP have its members go and take NDC membership cards? Well, what do we gain from that? I understand they say that we want to take part in the vote on John Mahama's flag bearership. Now, John Mahama, by their own contravention, John Mahama is not being contested. So why would we have our people go and take NDC membership cards so they go and vote against John Mahama?
Well, if I get the explanation they're giving is that the aspiring parliamentary candidates are looking for people to vote for them. So they are scared of a skirt and blouse. That's my understanding of the explanation they gave, that there could be MPP members, but they want to vote for an NDC member of parliament. Couldn't that be true?
But you see, Madam, you remember when we put out a statement that some individuals were going around collecting people's voters' ID card. Do you remember? Do you remember at all?
Nana Komi, I didn't get you.
I'm saying, do you remember when the NPP put up a statement alerting the country about the collection of voters' ID cards? Do you remember that statement?
Of course.
Now, if you link it up, you will get a clue as to the people who are going around collecting voters' ID cards. You see, the NDC have said that they would open their electoral college to anybody with an NDC membership card. So the people who are going to contest parliamentary primaries, they have a motive to go and collect as possible so they can use them to procure NDC membership cards for the people whose ID cards they've collected. Are you with me?
Yes, but Nana,
so
certainly...
If the NDC wants to know who is collecting cards and registering all kinds of people, they have to look inside their own party.
Well, it could not be true, or it may not be true, their accusations, but certainly this has a bad image on your party. If it turns out to be propaganda or a political gimmick,
well,
it certainly has. So what are you going to do as a party?
My sister, we have more serious things to do. This is a joke. Don't let us worry ourselves about it.
And so what would you do if the NDC exhibits its register and it finds out that indeed there are some members of the NPP who have infiltrated their party and they are threatening arrest of those people? What would you do?
We would treat it as a joke.
Really? Even if they find out that some members of your party are really infiltrating their party?
No, the assertion that we have infiltrated their party, we will treat it as a joke.
Okay, so...
we don't have time for that.
Well, many thanks to you, Nana Komia, for your
madam.
contribution on today's big story. We'll be back shortly and continue the discussion. Today's big story, we've been discussing the NDC's accusation that the NPP or members of the opposition New Patriotic Party have infiltrated their party, and they're threatening arrest of members who will be caught or will be found out to be non-NDC members but have stepped in and posed as NPP members. So what are the implications of this on both the ruling NDC and the opposition NPP? Joe Jackson is a political analyst. He joins us via phone. Many thanks to you, Joe, for joining us on today's big story.
Thank you, and good evening to all your listeners.
So, if it happens that the NPP members indeed have infiltrated the NDC, that is big trouble for the NDC. But also, if it happens to be untrue that NPP members have infiltrated the NDC, that also bad image for the NPP. What are the possible implications on both parties?
Well, first of all, allegations of infiltrations of members on from the NPP to the NDC and vice versa are nothing new. They've always been around. There's always been the concept of moles in the party who go around and go to the other party and tell them what was happening and record private meetings and so on and forth. So that is absolutely nothing new. Now, the other thing is this, that...
so you're saying that it happens, so it has become a norm, or it's normal, it's nothing that we should...
Listen, I don't see what is so extraordinary about having... Listen, there are people when you put any number of people together, there will be people who are for you and some who are not so sure, some who are messianic enough to try and peddle the information to the other side.
Right.
Some who may inadvertently release your information to the other side.
Okay.
It's been with us.
If it's been with us, is it not a good cause that the NDC has now realized, so they want to do something about this?
But the point is that they can't do anything about it. What are you going to do? You call a meeting. It's a party meeting. If I'm there, it means I have a party card.
Okay.
You can't walk me out of the meeting.
Okay.
You cannot arrest me because I'm at your meeting.
Right.
You may decide you don't want me at the meeting. That's fine. You may decide you want to cancel my party membership. That's fine. But you can't arrest me and take me to court that I'm a party member. Am I there as a party member? Do I have a party card? And if your meeting allows those without party cards to come in, then anybody from the public can walk in.
Okay.
I think it's an empty threat.
Right.
I think it's just one of the electioneering things that we're doing. That the opposition parties are, in fact, truly, I think they're indulging themselves.
Okay.
This is a fact of life of politics in Ghana, that people from either side of the divide will try and gain an advantage by finding out what you're planning.
The NPP is treating this as a joke. That's what they're saying. You think you agree with them?
Oh, I think it should be treated as a joke. It's an Ikoka firing of the NDC hierarchy, the executive committee will take this really seriously. We even treat this seriously. It's one of those things. Yeah, every party has an attack dog that it allows to come out and make certain statements that are essentially a way to just ginger up the folks down below and actually fairly meaningless in their significance.
Well, many thanks to you, Joe Jackson. We really appreciate your time on today's big story. That's where we draw the curtains. My name is Asare Osei Barima. Good evening.